Hello, I'm Fancy George, and welcome to Pause and Breathe Workplaces, or as I like to call it, real people, real stories, real estate. And today, I have to admit, I'm feeling a little outnumbered. I have a colonel here, a major, and a lieutenant colonel, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about workplaces and what's going on in the workplace right now. I'm going to start with Major Sanjeev Tullicherry. He's someone I've known now for almost 5 years, and I still remember the first time I met him. And that's Major for you. If you can talk a little bit about yourself, please.
No, so yeah, as you said, Sanjeev.
Yeah.
So I'm a veteran and a corporate real estate professional. Been in the industry for 20 years, known you for 5 years plus.
Right.
And yeah, we've had some great conversation.
Correct. Yeah. And I'd like to come to Colonel Sivaramakrishna. He's someone actually I've known since our Cornet days, mainly Cornet, and that is a corporate real estate network. Spot on with everything he says, right? A little bit about yourself, Colonel Sivaramakrishna.
Yeah, thanks, Fancy. So all three of us here, I'm an Army veteran. I've been in the Army for 24 years before I transitioned into the corporate. And I've been with the corporate now for about 11 plus years now.
Yeah.
And enjoying the journey.
Fantastic. So, and of course, last but not the least, the baby in the group, because she's just joined corporate very recently, Lieutenant Colonel Cheryl.
Yeah.
We met each other in another group of us, which is YNET, Women in Real Estate. A little bit about yourself.
Thank you,
Cheryl?
Fancy. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I was in the Army for about 14 years. And here in corporate, it's been 3 years. I was in between. I took a gap of 8 years. I did a little bit of stint in BITS Pilani. I was teaching there.
Wow, okay.
And I wanted to explore how corporate works. And I got an opportunity. I didn't let it go. And it's been 3 years.
So now, I'm going to ask each of you, all right? So again, I'm going to start with Major here. So I want to skip the formal version and go to each of you and ask you a question. I'll start with you, Major. So, one line each. Who are you when no one is reading your designation?
A husband and a father.
Nice. And you, Cheryl?
So when I'm alone, I'm a mother and a painter, an artist. Everything that I want to do when I'm in my own space. So I don't want to be labeled with my name, with my rank, with whatever I am. I just like to be in my own space, do the things that gives me a lot of satisfaction, a lot of mental peace. And you can call me a chef at home.
Right. Coming to you, Colonel.
You know, I'm a family person
Yeah.
who's on the lookout for new adventures. I'm game for anything. So
Fantastic.
that's what I would put it.
Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to just like slightly change the tone of the conversation and get a little bit into the first bit, which I'm calling it the shift, because each of you came from the Army into the workplace, right? And all of you have a very unique story to tell. And all of your stories are unique. And also the gap from Army to workplace is different for each of you. And this particularly because, we understand that there are a lot of people transitioning from Army to workplace. It'll be nice to hear a little bit about what went on in that space with each of you. And I want to start with you, Colonel Sivaramakrishna.
No, I think you keep it to Shiva.
Shiva, okay,
So,
all right.
in my case, I didn't plan to come out. My career was going good. But due to personal exigencies, I took a call to come out, and I would say it was semi-planned that I planned to come into Bangalore. I came on a compassionate posting here, and then I, decided to leave from here because I thought this place is, the best in the country to get an opportunity. So that's what I did. And
before you get into that story,
yeah,
when was that moment you decided you wanted to leave the Army? 24 years is a long time.
Yeah.
So when did it hit you?
Okay, so when we were training, the goal of any officer getting commissioned was to command a unit.
Okay.
For infantry, it was to command their own unit where they get commissioned. For others, it was just to command a unit. That was the ultimate dream of every officer who gets commissioned. So that was my dream as well. So I think that got fulfilled. So before I came here, I got to command a unit, one of the most challenging units in Kashmir. And that was my pinnacle. As far as I was concerned, that was the pinnacle and that was the height of satisfaction. So once that was done, then I had to devote time to family. So all of us are guilty of not devoting enough time to the family. So I think when the decision moment came, I took the decision to, that I need to give time to the family. And that was my sort of deciding factor in,
because
coming
24 years is a long time.
Yeah.
So it must not have been easy for you.
No, it certainly is not.
It certainly is not easy. Yes. So coming to you, Major. Sanjeev. Coming to you, Sanjeev. When was that moment? Because for Shiva, it was, I changed it already.
Yeah, thank
For
you.
Shiva, it was 24 years and for you, 13. And that's like really just 13 years. So what made you decide? What was that changing point for you?
In the army, there's something called an annual medical. So
Okay.
you got to undergo, right? And
Yeah.
You got to say you're fit enough to serve.
Right.
So when I did, so there's a challenge that came up in my hearing, right?
Yeah.
Which meant that I would never then get posted in a field area, or my combat role would have ended with that. I would have had a desk job all my life.
Understood. But you were in combat for the 13 years.
Yeah, all the 30, right?
We've
So I
yet
would
to
have-
come to that, by
Yeah,
the way.
right.
Yes.
So I'm a combat soldier, infantry,
Soldier,
right?
yes.
So, which means wouldn't put an end to it. I would have had a desk job. So I asked myself, okay, a desk job outside in a civil street or corporate is a better option than doing it in the army.
Right.
One. And fortunately for me, our wife was working, right? So there's no challenge of putting bread on the table. Right? I
No.
could just walk off with no job and with the guarantee that my wife would feed me, right? So I think that's others, nobody leaves at that time frame. So yeah, I think primarily when I said it was confirmed that my hearing is damaged, so I'm hard of hearing. So I first told the doctor, I really don't like to hear. I only like people to hear me.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
Yeah, but you
So
got a
then-
classy way of doing that. Excuse me, what was that again?
right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the moment I
Yeah.
realized that this is an end. So I said, okay, let me go outside and try my hand. And,
Right. So of course, that is a sort of a
Yeah,
point
that-
where you decided. What about you, Cheryl?
So I had given birth to my second child, and my daughter was just 1.5. And I'm a perfectionist to the core. So I was like, I'm not doing justice to my job. It's better that I do justice with my family. And I believed very strongly that my kids required me in their formative years. And hence I took a conscious call of leaving the army. I was doing well in the army, but then that call was for my family. And since my husband also was in the army, it was a lot of postings together, could hardly manage.
He's a lieutenant colonel too.
He's a
or-
colonel.
He's a colonel.
He's a colonel. He just recently retired.
There you go.
So,
The connect.
yeah, it was a conscious call, Fancy, totally,
Yeah.
to look after my kids. But I did not waste that time. I utilized that. I added value to myself by adding degrees because I love to study.
So
that's-
was it like double the effort trying to raise a family? Because like the colonel here, Shiva,
Sure.
was just mentioning that it was for family that he had to take a step back. Now here, there's two of you in the army, right?
Yes, it is. It is pretty
And
challenging.
both of you have decided to move from army into the workplace.
Yes, my
Yeah.
husband just recently retired,
Mhm.
but then while he was there, I took a conscious call because I did not have a strong support system for my kids.
Okay.
While we hear Indra Nooyi who says that you should have a support system and then
Yeah.
you really don't have to bother, I had a very strong one for about 12 and a half, 13 years, and then she had to get married. And then that support system was totally out, and then I had to
take a conscious
Yeah.
decision.
Just to add to what she said, in the army,
Yeah.
the family life is a challenge because you move so often. You move literally every 2 years, sometimes even before that. So a new place, a new city, a new house, new school, it doesn't happen. It's a huge, huge challenge. People don't realize how, if you in corporate, if you move from Delhi to Bangalore, you say, oh, that's a big challenge. But when you move from cities,
Yeah.
for example, you are in, say, northern part of the city and you get posted to the southern part of the city, to the country. So schools are different, the teachers are different, languages are different.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
You
it's
change.
a huge, huge challenge. And getting admission in schools is not easy. Right? You want to start, you go to a good school. Oh, you just not.
No,
it's
that's
just
why you tend to
impossible.
wonder, right? It's the system has to work because you're coming from the army, and
Yeah, you just
your
assume
kids
that
have to be
yeah,
taken care
no,
of.
Yeah,
And
no.
in fact, that's what all of us assume, that you're taken care of. But I guess these are some of the challenges we don't even know much about.
Right?
So, coming from the shift from army into the workplace, right? So that would have been like a huge challenge for all three of you. Army has a little bit of a structure to it. And I keep saying structure, and I know, and I don't know if you're going to say structure, no structure. But and the corporate workplace has some other sort of culture and structure to it, right? So I'm going to start with you, Shiva. Like, how was that? How was the transition for you? Was that something that was easy?
So before the transition, I would say you need to get a door open. Then only
Right.
the transition takes place. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go to the army, you're literally on the streets till the time you manage to get a foothold into a job,
Right.
and that's not easy. So
Yeah.
just to tell you, I mean, this just off the cuff statistics. I may not be totally off the mark, but 1 out of 10 army veterans coming out managed to get a decent break.
Yeah.
Others are still struggling. Okay.
Oh.
So it's not contrary to the perception that veterans have it easy, they just walk into it, is a misconception. You have to literally be very lucky, and you have to have all your stars aligned, and you need to get a break, and once you get a toehold, then of course you have to prove yourself. So I think first is to get that break, and then the big challenge of unlearning whatever you have learned. Then only you can
What's
you
that?
need
What's that big
so
one?
you need to empty your previous RAM to get the new data in.
Yes.
So that's
Like download, then upload, and
Yeah,
download,
so-
and then upload again. Yeah,
that's one
it
of the
just goes
challenge.
on.
So
Right, yeah.
but you need to learn fast.
Right.
If you need to survive, you need to learn fast. And
What helped you when you were going through this?
okay, so a lot of support structure. So I had a lot of my batchmates, and I would specifically want to call out Sanjeev and others who
Can you
who,
please tell me, what is it between you? Do you
So
know
we-
each other?
Yeah.
You
So we
knew
are
each other?
Batchmates in the
Oh,
army.
okay.
Yeah.
All the
We have trained
all the
together.
postmates in the army.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we have trained
Okay.
together.
So
What do
we
you
know each
know?
other for 37 years.
Oh my God.
These are our age.
Sit down.
So that always helps.
So that support structure helps, and
Yeah.
they help you get connected. So when you go and talk to various veterans who are much experienced in the corporate before you, you listen, you learn to listen, and army teaches you adaptability. So you need to start adapting, and you need to grab whatever you get. So in terms of support structures, you have veteran hiring programs now, which are quite effective with a lot of corporates, which was not the case earlier. So I mean, those support structures are helping, but again, like I said, the statistics
Yeah.
are not very encouraging. So you need to really be lucky, and you need to really prove yourself once you come in. And I think once you come in, you need to learn fast in terms of understanding the nuances, in terms of understanding.
How long did it take for you? So when you're saying learn fast,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it'll be different for somebody who's been away for 23 years versus 13 years, right? So,
Yeah.
so what is that?
So
yardstick for-
it again depends on the role you have landed up in. I mean, and I can talk about myself. My initial break was as a chief operating officer for a facility management company, and it was purely into technical operations. So I had to learn my technical knowledge was rusty because I had not used it in my army days. So I had to literally brush up my knowledge and get updated and understand the dynamics, which took me about 3 months.
Right.
So before I was actually productive to the company.
Yeah, because I want to ask you this, because I want to continue this conversation right now, because it's like there's a lot of perception, let's say, in the industry that, these army to workplace is just like an easy breezy thing. You can walk in anytime you want. And so I want to hear from you on this, because is it really that easy, or?
I mean, I would rather
need the
request.
skills, right?
No, you need to check the data. I mean, again, it's a perception. I don't think there are. If you look at the whole numbers, I don't think there are those many people there. And I can tell you one thing: if they are there, they have proved themselves. That's why they are staying.
And over to Sanjeev to kind of continue this conversation as well. So was that something that was a little bit of
See, for me,
a challenge?
I had a wife who was already working in the corporate world.
I don't think anything is a challenge for you,
Sorry?
right?
No, it's not that easy.
It's not.
So I was fortunate that a wife was working.
Right.
So when I stepped out, so I had some inkling of what the corporate is, but only really learn only when you get in. So everything is very rosy from outside. So I was lucky to get a break early. Maybe after first 2.5 months it got me, right? And I'd also say there's a lot of common things within the corporate and the army, right?
Yeah.
Dateline, timelines, all sacrosanct, right? So that's something very common.
What do you mean?
Right? Yeah. So we want to get something done in the army, it's sacrosanct. Corporate is also sacrosanct because if you have a
is that only with people who are coming from the army, or for
No, even in the corporate.
as well?
See, in the corporate, if there's a project that to deliver by an expert, you're expected to deliver, right?
Right.
The same thing, right?
Yeah.
So for me, that's something very common, a dateline, timeline. And the only difference is if you're in the army and you screw up in a plan, I hope that language is parliamentary.
It's going to go deep.
And actually, if you are in a military operation, you may end up losing a life, right?
Right.
And your family pays a part
and
of
that's a very expensive
But in the corporate, if you
part of your life. Yeah.
If you lose your job,
right?
So you along with the family suffer.
Correct.
Right. So we're having on the light note, I think it's not easy, the transition.
Right.
Because there's a mindset out there which says that, you can only do A, B, and C work. But that's not the reality, right? So there are people doing technology work, the people in real estate. I mean, the biggest real estate developer, DLF, was built by Mr. KP Singh, who recently was a major from the army. Right?
Yeah, I just learned that. I mean, I actually had no clue it was from the army.
So they are there. The people in the film industry. There are singers in the film industry.
What do you know?
Right. So I think there is
anything you want.
But having said that, that's a very small size of people who've left army and gone outside and chosen a career. And in most cases, people start at the bottom and work their way up. But the only thing I would say, the big thing that's changing, which I see in the last 7-8 years, is number of people who come out. And we're there in the education world also. So bottom line, we have the ability to survive.
Correct.
Right? I think that's our strength. We'll survive wherever we go.
Nice. Very, very nicely laid out, right? Cheryl, you are kind of new, right? And it's just a little bit more, are things easier now, or is it still something that you've got to kind of push yourself to? Like your transition, for instance, coming into the workplace, was that at a very junior level? Did you have to push yourself? Tell us a little bit about that, right?
Yes, I did get in the corporate world at a junior level, but I wanted to take that leap of faith. I wanted to explore the corporate world.
Yeah.
And
Did you have other choices?
I
Or you just wanted this?
She's
You
a
chose
teacher,
this path?
I was teaching. I was a
Okay.
teaching assistant with BITS
nice,
Pilani
okay.
earlier.
Hmm.
And but then I wanted to explore the corporate world. I didn't want to let whatever the chance which came to me. I just wanted to take that leap of faith and explore. And I was open to dirtying my hands and trying to scale wherever I can. I just wanted to get in and understand. I'll tell you an instant. At the day I came, about third day, my boss wrote me an email and he's like, "This is what I want." And you'll not believe, Fancy, 14 years in the army, we have written letters, we would write the draft and we would get that. And then, that's how we were in the army. We had clerks who would bring the draft to us and we just okay it, and then it would come to us and we'd sign it and give it off.
Lieutenant
And there it
Colonel?
was,
Yeah.
like, you have to write an email. And my hands were shivering and I'm like, I did not limit myself. I said, okay, am I doing the right thing? I approached a couple of people. Is the language okay? Just let me. I don't want to be wrong at the first instance. So I didn't shy away from going out, reaching out to people, just to understand how corporate. That was my first baby step that I took in my hands. That was my first experience, and I built from there to where I am. So I'm pretty proud of what.
So that's like a real good example of you just kind of parking the title aside and
Absolutely. You need to
just
shed your skin. You need
shed
to
your
shed
skin.
your
Yeah.
skin outside.
right.
You need to leave your ranks outside, learn fast, pick up the pace, network, meet people.
What does
And
it mean?
that's how you
Yeah.
gel into the system and become
Yeah.
successful.
So I want to shift the conversation a little bit, right? It's about leadership without titles. No colonel, no major, no lieutenant colonel, right? What did
Okay.
the army teach you about people?
Okay, so army, it's a long haul. So army, of course, you get your ranks, but you are treated the way you are when you get newly commissioned, go into a unit. You are the fresh kid on the block. Okay, there are seasoned veterans, Jawans, and we have a junior leadership called JCOs. So they are the real veterans who carry the heavy load. They've risen from the non-officer rank, and they see you as a new kid on the block. You have to prove yourself. In the corporate, the title, I would say, carries you halfway, because from day one you are what you are, whatever is your title, and then again, but in the corporate again, you need to prove yourself. You get into that door, but to stay in the room, you need to prove it to your team again that you are worth your salt. So, but in the corporate, I mean, this personally, my opinion, in the corporate, it's easier to reach that point, and when compared to the army. Army takes a lot of time for you to build a reputation.
Right. Yeah. You want to add to that, Major?
Leadership is reflected glory.
Reflected glory.
Right? So your team do well, you do well.
Right.
Right? Like if your team shines, you will shine.
Fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
Forward looking, find a
Forward
solution.
looking.
Right? And yeah, and I think and then that happened because it was an awesome team that did the job.
For me, it's +1. Like corporate, I've learned something is being +1. So in army, we can never do +1 towards you.
That's a good one. +1, yeah.
So I totally agree with my seniors here, and we need to shed the old self of ours to gel in. Again, I would like to reiterate that. And leadership, I think, for army officers comes very naturally because that's what is ingrained. That the 6 months or 1 year of training that we go through, Fancy, nothing can beat that.
Right.
The training that we go through, we take punishments together, we take the awards together.
Yeah. So I have to ask you this: woman in an army, and how was it as a woman in the army?
You have to prove yourself
You just have to prove
twice,
yourself.
thrice, because you are commanding men. They'll not take you. You have to prove what you are worth. Like if I'm firing, I have to be good. Otherwise, there will be, they say, langar gup. that is gossip in the kitchen, in the cafe. So, like, oh, that madam she can't even shoot.
Yeah.
What will she command us? Like, you know?
Yeah.
So, you have to be always up and about,
Up and
trying
about.
to prove yourself. And you cannot be like, oh, come, let's go for a cup of tea. So, it's like that. You need to maintain, you need to be there on time for them to come be there on time. So, you have to be on top of things.
So I know there are things that you can't talk about, but something on a very generic level, kind of getting into what that was like. You know?
See, you can't compare the two.
No, right.
Right.
Yeah.
The challenges that you undergo is very unique to that organization.
Right.
Right. And the challenges from rest of life, long family separations, right, are and your family learning to cope to live on their own, right? My wife had undergone surgery, so she just booked an auto, went to the hospital, got admitted, and when she got discharged, she took a taxi and came home, right? I don't know how many people in the civil stream, if somebody goes to the hospital, you find the whole family landing up there in India, right?
Yeah.
Right? So you're sick. You take care of yourself, right? It's not easy. So yeah, I struggled. I wouldn't get anything, you know. Then I called up through somebody. I called up a security agency guy.
Okay.
He also rejected me. So I said, "Oh God, am I that bad?" But then I got a break, and then I seized it, right, and then I'll go to the way up, right.
Yeah.
I think there's a story for everyone out there. Everyone has struggled out there.
Right. I mean, that's an important point.
And if you somebody like me who left 20 years back, 22 years back, struggle was even more challenging.
Yeah.
It's slightly getting better. But having said that, there are no free lunches out there.
Yeah.
There's nobody waiting to receive you. There's nobody waiting to say, "Oh, here comes a guy who served the nation. Now here's what we do for you." None exist.
Okay.
And I say this to a lot of people. Nobody cares for us. Okay, I mean, it's strong word. Nobody cares. You got to care for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You may your biggest support base is ex-army guy. You may say, "Listen, you apply there, apply here, apply there. Give you some forwards, for lack of a better word, and you go and struggle. It's hard. It's not easy. It's hard and tough out there.
Yeah. So it's like for any other
Any other
as well. So it's
yeah.
not really any different that you know
But
you're coming from
maybe
there.
because we carry the struggle with the grace.
Yeah.
People don't realize.
Yeah, maybe. And the calm. and the absolute calm that you come with. It's just an amazing attitude. Sanjeev, you're like a pioneer in bringing inclusive workplace environments into the corporate real estate industry in India. Like, you're one of the first few who actually thought of it, right? You were thinking out of the box. Nobody else was doing it. I still remember, even today, I get calls saying, who else is doing it? If they're doing it, then we. But you're like, lead by example, right? If you could just, I mean, what made you do that? Because you were, I think it's coming from the fact that you're bothered about the people using the place, right? It comes from that.
I would, you know, some of the learning I think came from my previous organization, right? I think this was way back in 2008 or 9.
Yeah.
We were building an office in Manyata. And so as usual, no, we're ticking the box, right?
Yeah.
So the office is on the second floor, raised flooring, so they put a ramp. So I had a CEO who said, gentleman from UK. He said, can a wheelchair go up the ramp? And I said, yeah. So I said, we've got to ask somebody to a wheelchair, put somebody. He says, no, self-propelled. And he said, no. And they said, like, you can't. And then I thought, right? And I think that's where so I said, here's the CEO of the company, right? Why is he thinking on this? Then I realized that people out of Europe are far more ahead of us in this thing.
Yeah.
And that sort of that.
Yeah, in
I think
thinking.
that sort of, and then
yeah.
and that sort of stayed with me. First gold lead certified office again is something I have the honor of doing way
Yeah.
back in 2009. I think it just stayed with me, and I think thinking that
Because you had no
you need
example to follow, right? You had to do your own research, find the people who can, find your own consultants.
Yes,
Right?
So I mean,
Yeah.
and then I found there are people out there who know
If you
things,
really look, you can find
you
them.
can
Yeah.
find, and been extremely lucky to get people
Right.
who give you the right advice. And I think my work literally stopped when I got a good
Yeah,
people in, and
yeah.
they really ran with it. And it's proud of the fact that sort of set benchmark.
Yes, with a
for a
client
lot of
like you,
people.
it's half the problem solved for
Right.
the designer, right?
Right.
Because that's the benchmark
Right.
you
And-
follow, right?
Right, and I think the best part is when you see you've done everything,
Yeah.
you realize how little you know.
If you can, kind of come through some of those, give me some of those examples as well, because I know your facility is also beautiful. I'm yet to fully walk it, but what I saw was just quite nice, quite amazing.
So, in our case, we had the good fortune of learning from
Learning from.
what Sanjeev and others have
Right.
done.
Yeah.
But again, in terms of adhering to the new National Building Code and also adding things which are good to have, those help. And what I would say is that we learned from the mistakes or the
Yeah.
overlooking of others, and we sort
Right.
of fine-tuned it. And also we made sure that we made space for all the ad hoc things which were done over a period of time. For example, we have the security command center, which was in one of our facilities, which was an afterthought. We had the transport command center, being established. So all these things which are an essential part to give a enhanced partner experience or a employee experience to the employees. We made sure that all these things are thought through, covered, well designed for people to come in. And even simple things like promoting sustainability, in terms of what is the count of fleet that you want to make it pure electric. How are you going to make sure that you have adequate charges to charge them to come in? Employees, when you are promoting adoption of electric vehicle, are you providing enough charging points for them to come in and do it? And people generally tend to look at only four-wheelers, whereas two-wheelers are more on the roads. Two-wheelers are what people use, and that is what requires the charge. Your four-wheeler typically gives you 200, which is enough for you to go back home and charge. But for a two-wheeler, it's essential for them to come in and charge. So I think small things like this,
Is it like
it helped in making sure that all the employee experience is taken care of. And cafeteria was another thing. Like every company has got its unique needs, in terms of how do you want to design your cafeteria. Whether you want to have a full-fledged kitchen, whether you want to have a semi-alive kitchen, what is it that, what is the seating capacity you want to have, all those things. I think once you get the pulse of the employee experience, what you want, it's a fine balance between, how much of a space you can spare for that.
Right.
And so I think striking the correct balance was good. Yeah.
Cheryl, just coming to you, and because now you're new in the system, and you have to now go through this journey that these two industry stalwarts have already gone through, right? So how is that whole experience for you, and what kind of innovation are you bringing into your own workplaces?
Yeah, so as far as workplaces are concerned, Fancy, what I believe is of a cue that I take from you, I've learned, and from the interaction that we've had. I believe that, and what I've seen in the place that I work, is we should build a place where people can collaborate, where people can relate, and rather than quiet rooms where they cannot really do anything. So places which are live, like for example, we have plants here, we have inclusive places, we bring in nature inside. Like our new facilities have got a lot of greenery around and a lot of space to collaborate, a lot of focus, huddle spaces. So these places are wherein you get your ideas out of him and you think out of the box, and
Right. Yeah.
you have places where people can do some recreation and come back, and that cafe experience, amazing experience. So we should go into building workplaces is what I've learned
Yeah.
from my seniors and from you, that we should build more of sustainable kind of place. The one that you built in Kerala, I still remember that post that you placed on the LinkedIn. Fantabulous to see. I think those places is where you actually bring out the creativity of an engineer, of a programmer, a coder, and for that matter, of analyst.
Right.
Anybody for that matter. So I think this is what I'm learning, trying to build in more of inclusive spaces for people to feel.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Okay, now, are you guys ready
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
for joy,
Yeah.
Yes.
chaos,
Yeah.
the real
Absolutely.
stuff?
Yep.
Yes.
Definitely.
This is the fun bit. Okay. I don't want you to think. No overthinking. Just give me the answers like really quick. Okay. One thing you miss about army life. You're thinking
Ah,
The routine.
the routine. Cheryl.
I miss the uniform.
Uniform.
Yes.
Okay.
I miss the relationship.
One thing you do not miss.
No, I miss.
Okay. The second question is one thing you do not miss. So the relationship is what you miss.
Well, what I do not miss, waking up early and going for a run every day.
How early was that?
Whatever time. I wake up early but don't have to run. So
Okay. And you?
I don't miss the postings.
The postings.
The postings.
Okay.
Transfer.
The transfers from, yeah.
Yes.
I don't miss staying away from the family.
The family. Yes, you're coming back to that. A corporate phrase that always makes you smile or question reality. Corporate phrase. So that's what you'll be going through right now.
let's step back.
Let's start.
Let's take a pause.
Oh. Actually, that's a good thing, right?
This is too tactical.
Yes, good one, good one. Okay. If your current workplace had an army-style motto, what would it be? I'm going to start with you.
Okay. So I still continue with what was the motto for my service. That is Seva Asmakam Dharma. I strictly follow that.
Wow, can you explain a little bit about that?
Okay. So ASC's motto is Seva Asmakam Dharma.
Okay.
So what it means is service is our creed. So I try and follow that.
Nice. You, sir?
Me, go get it done.
Go get it done. That's the army motto.
No, that's something
Something.
I believe in. Go just get
Okay.
it done. I mean,
Yes.
we sometimes spend too much time thinking and worrying and
Right. Park the ego, park everything, just go get it done.
Get it
Yes.
done.
Absolutely right.
For
Cheryl?
me, it is Naam, Namak and Nishan. Naam is the thing that you live for, your name, your existence, your name.
Okay.
And Namak is loyalty.
Hmm.
And Nishan is the flag that you
Okay.
carry, your
So this is an army
principles.
motto.
Yes, it is. Namak,
Beautiful.
Naam, Namak, Nishan, yes.
I want to kind of really actually end it with that final session of joy and happiness and everything, right? And one little quick advice you want to give to anybody from the army who's looking for a place in the workplace.
So I would say I would advise them to start preparing at least 2 to 3 years in advance if they have decided to come out early,
Okay.
and prepare themselves in terms of certifications, qualifications, in terms of networking, which most of them are doing now, and they are very focused on not only working in or I think preparation is the key. You can't just on basis of
Absolutely
whim
right.
just take a decision, come out and expect it to work.
No.
That's
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
And reach out to
Yeah,
mentors like
that's
you.
a given. That's a
right?
given. Yeah.
What about you, Sanjeev?
So what I would say is, I'm not a great example. I'm okay. I'm an okay guy out there.
He's too humble.
Right? So what I would say, anyone who is coming out, and this would add to what Shiva just said, be clear what you want, one,
Mm,
and then see what is the path to get there,
right.
which will involve studying more, right? Adding to your educational qualification and do a deep dive.
That's what you would say. Cheryl?
So, fancy for me, the one thing that I'll tell them is that I constantly get to see now when I take interviews is you need to shed your uniform, your rank outside and prepare for the interview that you are coming for. And it should not be more of your army experience, though that's more valued. But when you come for an interview, you prepare for the corporate style and corporate world rather than, telling. And for a civilian taking your interview, they don't understand units, they don't understand what you have done there. So you have to come down to their terms and explain to them. So as rightly pointed out by Colonel Shivram, that you have to prepare well. You need to shed your skin you off the army, remove the ranks out and come here and start from the scratch. Unlearn, and move fast.
And just to add to what said is, there is no one out there rolling a red carpet for you.
Yes.
Okay, so you got to prove yourself that you're a worthy hire. Right? You only get to prove once you're hired. So what you have to prove you're worthy of a hire, and to what she said, you need to be able to explain what you do in the army in a corporate language, and that talking to a few only in the corporate could help you do that, but that is very important. You have done some great job, but nobody understands it, as Cheryl rightly said. So you need to make that transition. And the last one, she so aptly said, leave your rank back in the army.
Leave your rank back in the army.
And you also need to make sure that you are taking the decision at the right time. That is very important.
Oh, yes.
You should not make the decision and try and make it work. Not everybody is cut out for a corporate life.
Right. So have that conversation and understand it's like you're cut out. I think we've come to
Before you conclude, let me ask you.
Oh, no.
Okay. You got more than 3 decades experience. You worked in India, you studied abroad, you worked abroad, you designed you worked with a lot of people.
35 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Okay. I will take that number. So you work with a lot of people. You work with people who like us and people. One thing that you like, that you work with people who came with the uniform background, and one thing you don't like.
The uniform.
People like me, veterans.
Yeah.
What do you like working with us, and one thing that you don't like?
No, I think, for me, honestly, Sanjeev, and that's a great question. I keep wondering, because most of my friends, and then when I really dig really deep, I find out they were an army colonel or major, lieutenant colonel. I get along with people because of that level of respect you give people. For you, you're just so respectable. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's like a coffee boy or an architect or whoever it is. You're just very respectful in the way you talk to people. And that is something I find missing sometimes in the corporate real estate world, because sometimes, as an architect, you do a lot of work and you're like constantly working hard, but you don't feel appreciated. But with you, anyone with this kind of an army background, I don't have to worry, because, just as by default, there is that respectful way you approach people, and I think that's a bigger lesson for me that I take away. Like, I learned that from you. I learned that from people like you in the army.
And
so thank you for that.
Thank
you for leading. Thank you for leading from the front.
What is the area of improvement for us?
Area of improvement, huh? I don't know really, because for me it's been like, I just don't even know. Even when Cheryl came to me, I was like, I don't know what to teach her. She's like, Fancy, I'm trying to network. I don't know what else you want to learn, Other than the fact that I can open up doors. The level of improvement, I think you need to talk a little bit more about yourself. Okay. I had no clue you were a colonel. I'm ending it with that, because honestly,
it won't have made a difference to the work I do.
It makes sense to me what you are, because I can see it. And the way you approach your projects, there's so much care. There's a lot of bothering. You're bothered. You want to do best, and you're not, and then you're not following behind the rest of the crowd. You've just got your own path. That's beautiful. So thank you for that. Thanks.
Fancy,
Beautiful
thanks
conversation.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
inviting us. Awesome conversation.